Hi friends, let's learn how to use the corner to corner crochet technique to create this fun and festive Merry Mosaic quilt. Today I'm going to use my Premier Basix multi to make the alternating square, which is going to have the multicolor on the two side edges and then the white stripe in the center, and then we're going to make a few alternating squares to create the final quilt. We're going to start with corner to corner by starting with a chain of 6. So I have my slip knot on my hook and I just do a chain of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I'm going to work a double crochet in the 4th chain from my hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, and here is the 4th chain. So I'm just going to double crochet right into there. And now those first 3 chains that I skipped count as my first double crochet. So I have 1, 2, and I want to make 4 double crochets to create the first block of my piece. So I'm going to make another double crochet, and we're going to work those double crochets in the 2 remaining chains. So that's my last chain, and I work my last double crochet. So now I have a block of 4 double crochets, and that's my first block and my first row. So now on to the second row. We're going to start with a chain of 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm going to do the same thing. So make another block starting in the 4th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3. And there's the 4th. So that's 1 double crochet. Here's my next chain, 2 double crochets. And in my last chain, I make the 3rd double crochet for a total of 4 double crochets. Now I have 2 blocks, but as you can see, they're kind of a little wobbly like this. So at this point, we need to connect row 1 with what we started of row 2. So to do that, we're just going to turn our work like that. And then I'm going to attach this piece to this piece, or this block to this block, with a slip stitch. So here is my chain 3 space of my first block. So I'm just going to insert my hook in there, and then I'm going to yarn over, pull a loop through, and then pull that loop through the loop on my hook. So I've attached block 1 or row 1 to the first block of row 2. Now row 2 is not finished yet. We have to make another block. So to make the second block of row 2, it's not the starting block, so we only need to start with a chain of 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to finish our block in this chain 3 space. So we're going to do another double crochet, and then 2 more double crochets for a total of 4, because each block will have 4 double crochets. So now you can see I have 1 row with the stitches facing, laying horizontally, and then I have row 2 where my stitches are vertical. They're standing up vertically. So that's going to happen with each row. They're going to be vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, and you'll see as we continue on. So now on to row 3, and it's the beginning of the row, so we're going to start with that chain of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And back to my double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4th chain from the hook. I work a double crochet, and then another double crochet in the next chain, and then 1 more double crochet in that last chain, So I've just got that one hanging on there. So remember, you just turn your work and then you can attach that block to where it needs to be into the chain 3 space of the block of the previous row. And you just join that with a slip stitch. Okay, so now here's my first block. Now I need 3 more, because as we move along, you'll see that each row will have the same number of blocks as the row number. So since we're on row 3, we are going to have 3 blocks. So let's do my next block in this chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3 to start. Remember, we only need 6 when we're working the very first block of the row. So that's 3 and 4 double crochets to make a block. And now I just have to do the same thing, join this block to this chain 3 space with a slip stitch. And then my chain 3 for my first double crochet, and then 3 more double crochets. And so now you can see what's looking like the corner of our first block. So as we continue with this manner, this block is going to expand this way and this way. So it's going to expand out into almost like a triangle. And also you can see that I have some which are vertically and some which are horizontal. So that's how you know whether you're on the front side or the back side of your work, although it does look the same on both sides. So now let's do row 4, and we should have 4 blocks here. And I'm going to start with 6, 3, 4, 5, 6 chains. 1, 2, 3, and 4th chain from the hook. I'll make my second double crochet of the block. There's my 3rd and my 4th. Okay, now we're going to attach that, join that with my slip stitch. 1, 2, 3 for my first double crochet, and then work 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. And now I'm going to attach to this one with a slip stitch. First double crochet, which is that chain 3. 1, 2, and 3 for a total of 4. And here's my last block that I'm making. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 double crochets. So as we work the increase rows, you will see that each row will increase by 1 block. So row 4, we have 4 blocks, row 5, we have 5 blocks, and on and on and on until we start to decrease. So you're going to work a few more rows until row 8, and then I'll meet you back here to show you how to change. So I've worked a few more rows exactly how we did, and I am on row 8. So I should have 8 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm on my 8th block right here. So this is my last block of row 8, and at the last block of row 8 we are going to switch to the white. So I've got my Premier Basix worsted weight yarn, and this is the white. So we're just going to go to the very last double crochet of the block. And before we make that last yarn over pull through, so when we have the last 2 loops on our hook, we're going to drop the multicolor one. Just going to cut that. And then I'm going to join my white just like that. And then I'm going to work 2 more rows in the exact same way that we were doing it. So we're going to start with our chain of 6, 4, 5, 6, and this is still an increase, so we're just going to work our block and then continue working 2 more rows in the white. Okay, so I've worked 2 more rows in the solid white. So I had 9 blocks and then I had 10 blocks because I'm still increasing. At this point, before we switch back to the multicolor, we're going to start decreasing. So that way, what is our triangle right now turns into a square. So from here, from the start, we increased to make a triangle, and now we're going to decrease to make another triangle and close the square. So in order to decrease at the end of row 10, where you should have 10 blocks, you are simply going to turn your work. Instead of chaining up 6 like we usually do, we're not going to chain up at all. We're just going to turn our whole piece, and then we're going to work slip stitches across the top of this block because we don't want to keep increasing. So I'm just going to do a slip stitch and then another slip stitch and then a slip stitch in the top of that first chain 3. And then I'm just going to work my blocks up the side edge until I get to this last one, and then I'm going to decrease again. So let's do that. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then just do your blocks how we've been doing them, which are 4 double crochets in the chain 3 space. Okay, so now I'm up to where this last block is, and I've got 3, and I need 4 double crochets. And remember, we don't want to join and then chain up again because that would be an increase. Here we are decreasing. So we're just going to join with a slip stitch like we have been, and then turn your work, and then just continue to do the slip stitches across. Now, once we finish with this row, which is row 11, at the last slip stitch, we're going to switch back to the multicolor. So the last slip stitch is going to be right here in the chain 3. So I'm just going to insert my hook. I'm going to drop the white, and I'm going to grab my multicolor so I can switch to the multicolor. And then you just join that with a slip stitch and continue on. We chain up 3, and we just continue to work our blocks in the chain 3 space. Okay, once again, I'm at the end of my row, and I do not want to increase. I want to decrease. So I'm just going to join, turn my work, and then slip stitch across here, and then continue on. So that way we are decreasing with every row, and as we continue to decrease, we'll decrease by 1 stitch per row until we have only 1 block to make. We'll make that last block, and that will be a square. So you're just going to continue to decrease in the multicolor yarn. You don't need to switch colors again until you have a square that looks like this one. So then you're going to have your alternating squares with the white on the edges and the multicolor stripe down the center, alternating with the multicolor on the edges and the white stripe down the center to make your gorgeous Merry Mosaic quilt. Thank you for watching.